What is good, y'all? Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Rambler, hope you are doing well, good sir. I hope you are doing well. In fact, hope anyone that's on here is doing well. Big ups to you, brother. We have a absolutely loaded combat sports weekend, kind of leaving an open platform. Sorry about my hair. Didn't want to grab a hat today, but I should have. We have a open platform today. If anyone wants to jump on the live stream, chop it up, and talk some fights, it'll be sick. I am super excited for this combat sports weekend, man. It's loaded to the gills from top to bottom. Clearly, you have the top of the building. Duarte is at plus 300. Boy, memes. What book are you even getting Duarte and Hitchens? What book are you getting Duarte and Hitchens? Because plus 3, I was actually hoping we got a good line on Hitchens. Now, let me just tell you why I was hoping we got a good line on Hitchens. But Duarte at plus 300 is almost a must stab. I think Duarte versus Hitchens is very similar to Sims versus Duarte. I had Sims winning that fight 7-5. Even though they gave it to but the biggest thing here too as well is Sims didn't put out enough optics. I'm so sorry about my sinuses as well, y'all. Crazy fucking congestion right now. I fear that Sims didn't put out enough optics, and I feel like Hitchens will put out a little bit more optics. He's a little bit slower to get going, as we saw against Liam Paro. But, man, at plus 340, that's almost a must-take for Oscar Duarte. I'm not going to lie, bro. That's like a 60-40 fight. Wait a minute. Why is my banner going, by the way? Oh, it is going on. Yeah, so just so you guys know, too, as well, I'll be, for my predictions now on, I'll be dropping all audio on the Patreon. If you prefer to listen on audio, it's completely free. I have a Discord I run. Again, free Discord. As long as you're not a Nimrod or a jackass, you're welcome to come in there. I drop a little bit of tape studies. I'm actually doing a live interactive tape study after this for Carlos Adames and Ammo Williams. Don't donate your money. Why? You think Hitchens going to beat Duarte? Hope you're doing well, PJ. So yeah, so if you prefer to listen to the audio portion on the Patreon, free subscription, you can listen to the audio. Play Bad Ray Turkey for 2 minutes. Play Bad Ray Turkey for 2 minutes. Barre Turkey. Barre Turkey for 2 minutes. I don't even know what that means. Play. I'm gonna keep it all. I'm gonna be honest. I do favor Hitchens in that fight, and I'm actually very familiar with both Duarte and Hitchens. Thankfully, I'm kind of getting to the point in my tape studies. Thankfully, I'm kind of getting to the tape study in my point of my life where, thankfully, I got a bunch of tape backlogged. But I just think Sims Duarte 2.0, I scored it Sims 7-5, and I think Hitchens is more active than Sims. So I personally favor Hitchens in this case. I just wish the line was a little bit better. But Hitchens' decision is going to kind of be the case. All right. I got you. At Badro Rekby, I will play Badre Turkey for 2 minutes and feel. Ayo, Guru, my goat. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hitch for the win, my guy. I favor Hitchens too as well. I think he's a little bit more active. Sims. Again, guys, I'm so sorry about my congestion. Aligos, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Who we got? Murder or Kelly? Come on, Brody. Check out. Just check. The only breakdown I've dropped this week is Kelly Bachram. I only ask you guys to go at least watch that. That's all I ask. But of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I got Bachram 7-12. I got Bachram ultimately 7-12. And let me break down why I got Bachram ultimately 7-12. I think Josh Kelly, and I think it's important that you could wait to play this line. I think you can wait to play this line. I don't think you have to play it pre, unless Bachram, of course, comes out and starches him. I think Josh Kelly will get up some rounds. I wouldn't doubt if we saw Josh Kelly up 3-1 at some point. 3-1, 2-2 kind of fight to where the odds either even out or Bachram becomes the underdog. And then at that point, Bachram's knockout number is going to be way better. I just think this is my overall thought is I think Josh Kelly does. All right. I know the David Avanesian fight was a long time ago. Someone brought up he was younger, 26 years old, only 10 fights into his pro career. Fine. Don Julio, I'm going to get to you as well, brother. Hope you're doing well, bro. Let me ramble on these thoughts real quick, and then I'll get to your comment. So we have Josh Kelly when he lost versus David Avanesian. David Avanesian eventually tracked him, put in the body work, and slowly melted him, right? And David Avanizian, I know, was the highest level fighter he had faced to that point. And yes, it was during COVID time with a long travel. So it was a little bit strange of a fight. But I think it's important to note how Josh Kelly did in hell compared to Bakram, how he did in hell. Bakram, Ramadan, shit weight cut, no food prior to the fight, fighting Jack Colque down on the scorecards, had to go to hell in the 10th and 11th round to finish Jack Colque. So when you have these two both guys that have gone through hell in different scenarios in their career, one guy has walked through the fire and came out on the other side, and one guy is burned. And that's huge for me. That's absolutely huge for me, is the fact that I've seen Bakram have to go 11 hard rounds with a fighter that brought the fight to him. And everyone brings up the slow plotting feat of Bakram. Guys, I think you can play Josh Kelly pre-fight or even make a parlay with him pre-fight. And I think there's going to be a point where you can cash out good money on him. But I just think there's going to be a point later in the fight that Bakram's going to track him. And one thing that nobody talks about with Bakram, nobody, this motherfucker can volume punch his ass off. Crazy volume. Like, his volume is so underrated. So overall, I just think he's going to get to Kelly. I think the volume is going to get to him later unless the weight cut's really big for Bakram, because he does look a little bit dry, in my opinion, already. That video you saw with the DAZN face-off, he looks a little bit dry there. So, boy, Don Julio, I hope you're doing well, brother. What's your thoughts on William Skoll, Jacob Bank? So I'm taking Jacob Bank. Haven't really done much tape on Jacob Bank specifically. I thought his last knockout, I remember watching that, and he looked damn good getting that knockout in the last one. William Skoll, you couldn't pay me to tape him anymore. I taped him for the Shishkin fight. I taped his fight. William Skoll fought another dude that I had to tape for the Shishkin fight. And then clearly we saw the Canelo fight. So all in all, I favor Jacob Bank with the hometown. So if it goes to the decision, and probably more likely the forward pressure. The one thing about William Skoll is he's hard to track. He's good at moving with his back against the ropes. And Jacob Bank seems to kind of be like a swing and miss kind of fighter, a fighter that can seem to be swung and missed on. So all of these things factored in, I'm still going to take Jacob Bank. I don't necessarily love the line, but I'm still going to take a stab. This week, I'm actually going to run a longer parlay, 3 to 4 legs, 3, 4, 5 legs. I haven't done that in a while. Just kind of fuck with it. I only put like $25 on it. Nothing too serious. And I'm going to run something fun like that. So I think Jacob Bank will be a part of that. So I lean and I favor Jacob Bank. Hometown got me too as well there. LOL, I got murder too. Let's go. He's gonna be B money for us after this weekend, brother. He's gonna be B money after he catches up. Who created the skies and the earth and between them? You did, my friend. You created them. What's up, Money Meech? Zayas, Adamas, Keyshawn, 3-leg locked in, baby. Man, I know you've been on the Keyshawn can't lose this fight train. And pure boxing for boxing skill is probably like a 70-30, 75-25 kind of fight, right? 70-30, let's say that. But man, all the outside factors, all the intangibles that we can't talk about and put inside of a boxing ring. What are those intangibles I'm discussing? Keyshawn changing teams, Keyshawn moving up in weight, the fiasco with Edwin De Los Santos. These are all things that I play into note. And undeniably, Ortiz does have the better resume in terms of strength of schedule. So these are all things that you can note, even though I'm not touching this fight. There's not a prop that I could get to that I love. I don't think there's much value on Keyshawn decision. The money line, there is no value in my personal opinion. And again, I don't think Keyshawn loses this fight. Like I said, tangibly in terms of a boxing expectation, I'm super high on Keyshawn. I take him to beat 3 or 4 140 champions right now. So, yeah, I just think there's just too much outside noise that I got to see him first, mate. So, you like Banks by decision? You like Banks by decision? Yeah, I like Banks by decision. I think the hometown work and I think the back footing may not look good. And there's going to be a lot of boos in that crowd because Skoll, it's hard to look. Man, stop talking and answer my question. I answered your question, champ. I said you created it all. It was all you. Bonjour, bro. You prono for St. Denis or Dan Hooker? I'm going to be honest. I do like Dan Hooker, but I think Dan Hooker, another live line kind of portion. I actually just put in this parlay today. Actually. I'll share it with everybody. If you guys want a tale of for fun little fucking parlay, I only put $35 on it. Kingsley Iba over Jarrell Miller. I took Bakram by KO, just add a little juice to the parlay, and Dan Hooker money line. The biggest thing about this is a pretty, again, it's only $35, but it could win up to $1,000. It's a kind of a fun one. Again, I think Bachram finds Kelly and eventually stops him. Dan Hooker is going to have to go through minimum a round of hell versus Saint Denis and anti-grapple his ass off and catch him with something up the middle, whether that be a rear uppercut or a long flying knee up the middle. And then Kingsley eBay. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things too as well. 1 second here. You're getting put in timeout, Abdurrah Rebecca. Sorry, buddy. You're getting put in timeout, mate. I'm putting you in timeout. You're spamming the comments with some shit. Respectfully, getting slightly put in timeout. Hope you are well, though, King. Anyways, long story short, I think Dan Hooker's going to have to go through a rough first round, and I think he's going to catch him with something up the middle, whether that's knees, rear uppercuts. I have faith that he's going to win the third round if this fight goes to the decision. I have faith that BSD wins the first round if this fight goes to the decision. So it's kind of that middle ground. How does Dan Hooker do in round 2? One of my buddies says Dan Hooker don't want it anymore. Yeah, one of my buddies says Dan doesn't want it anymore, but I don't know where he gets that from. Well, I guess we'll see here. But yeah, so I like Dan Hooker. Kingsley eBay. Let's talk about Kingsley eBay versus Jarrell Miller. I'm always willing to fade a 37-year-old Jarrell Miller that's not on the sauce. Granted, I know he's fighting Kingsley eBay, but let me tell you guys a little bit something about Kingsley eBay. Former college football player, athletic and genetic freak. He's only 32 years old, but he's now sponsored by Adidas Boxing, and I think that's interesting. Why is it interesting? To me, it shows whoever is running Adidas Boxing has a little bit of faith in Kingsley to be a next decent guy, and he has financial backing to where he can put real work into the gym, and he doesn't have to work in co-finances that he did when he used to box only part-time. Seems like he's boxing full-time. Another big thing, I used to live right down the road from the gym he used to train at. Tiny little gym. Does like a bunch of nonprofit work for kids from that area and things of that nature because it's a little bit of a rougher area. But the point I'm making is I don't think he had a lot of great heavyweight sparring partners at the gym. He's now at Brick House Boxing Club in Los Angeles, where I know he's getting some more heavy work sparring, and he's with different coaches, probably getting better looks. If there's any time to bet on Kingsley eBay at plus 420 or plus 430, right now is the time. Right now is the time. So with that being said, I think because there's going to be 2 or 3 dogs that I believe that win this weekend, like decent sized dogs that win this weekend. And my question is picking those out. And I think Kingsley eBay is a good dog to possibly pick. Is that a wig? Nah, bro. I got real hair, champ. This bro just asked if I have a wig. What? Brody, that's real hair, champ. What do you mean? My dad looks like Patrick Swayze. Have you ever seen Patrick Swayze in Point Break, bro? That's what my pops looks like. Fun fact. I don't even know that dude, but I got pictures of that fool, and he looks like, and he fucking, what? And that man, is that a wig? That's crazy work, bro. Hell nah, bro. I got, respectfully, one thing I know is I have nice-ass hair. It just gets in my face, champ. Come on now. No way. He just asked me, is that a wig? Hey, daddy, I'm broke. Give me some locks. I mean, I don't know. This weekend's rough, dude. This weekend to me is rough. I don't like anything. I don't love anything pre-flop. I think Bachram 7 through 12. I feel confident Bachram gets it done late via knockout. I know you like to play it a little bit differently, whether that's overs or certain rounds and things of that nature, but I like Bachram 7 through 12, but it's not the greatest value. Another thing too, as well. I mean, Kingsley eBay, for whatever you want to price your unit, is a great dog shot at 4-1. And I mean, I'm going to do my Carlos Adames and Ammo Williams tape right now in the Discord. So I'm going to go do that here in a bit, but I'm kind of leaning Carlos Adames by knockout at plus money. So those are what I'm looking at. Moyogora versus Tank Davis in prison. Oh my God. Mayorga, if it's pure prison rules, I guess. Yeah, if it's pure prison rule. I don't know. Tank has a little bit of that autism to him that I think gives him that extra bit of strength. So maybe Tank. That was the best thing. I do nice on the ring fights, 8 parlay including. Can't wait to go to everyone. Screenshot that, put that into Discord. I want to see this parlay, mate. Damn, massive potential in looks maxing. Shave the mustache, bro. Shave the mustache, bro. What's wrong with the mustache, champ? Massive potential and looks maxing. I don't know what looks maxing is, quite frankly. Good luck. Good luck to you, Alagos. You look like Jeremy Fragrance 1.1. Let me look up what this looks like here. Jeremy Fragrance. Is that the dude that reviews the cologne? I mean, he's not a bad looking dude, man. Shit, I'll take that, champ. 6'7". 6'7". How did your last week go? Few locks with Pratty and I did well with Julian Rodriguez last week because we got him at plus 290. We took Maciel Rodriguez by knockout live. Man, let's talk about the worst heartbreak I've ever had in my life. The worst heartbreak I've ever had in my life right here. I gave out, God, it's killing me just to talk about. I gave out Jesse Hart by decision at plus 2,000. You want to talk about heartbreak? That would have been hands down my best gambling weekend that I've had in my life because I reloaded up on him live. I can't even lie. Jesse Hart by decision plus 2,000. Man, that broke my heart, bro, because he got absolutely robbed, in my personal opinion. And I just personally just don't know how you could score that fight for Khalil Coe. I just don't know how on planet Earth you can look at that card and look at it and score it for Khalil Coe. Draw at best. And even if I got the draw, I still would have hedged out and got 2.1K. So I'd have been a happy camper. So all in all, that was the worst heartbreak I've ever had in boxing, in my personal opinion, was that Jesse Hart plus 2,000 decision that got fucking ripped from me. So last week, if we're talking about it, was the worst week I've ever had in the sense of how much I could have won that didn't win that should have won, if that makes any sense. I like Bakram KO. That will 100% be played. Right now, it's damn near even money, depending on the book. What's up? I agree with eBay has some value. Hope he gives Miller a tough fight. If you're going to bet on eBay, right now is the time to bet on eBay. That's just a fact. Send all your fighters from the USA to Muslims and forget 1 or 2 years, and they will be better. Adamas KO or under at plus money. Don't underthink it. Don't overthink it. Quite frankly, Adamas KO, I'm trying not to overthink it. I'm still going to tape it just to be safe. What are your thoughts on Elijah Flores versus Teasley? I'm actually not. Let me go see who Teasley is. This Teasley, I don't think I'm familiar with Teasley, to be honest with you. Jay Teasley. I've never seen this guy fight. I'm not even gonna fake the funk either which way. I've never seen this guy fight. I saw Elijah Flores' fight against, I believe it was Omar Rosario. And I thought he looked pretty damn good in that one. It was in clear control. And Omar Rosario is one of those lower level guys that's pretty damn good. Let's see. Teasley has, bro, what's crazy is I don't even know any of the guys that he's fought either. Like, I genuinely don't. The only undefeated guy he fought is Celestis Bay. Yeah, I don't even know Celestis Bay. That's not even Clay Collard. So I'm not overly familiar with him, but I was impressed with Elijah Flores' performance against Rosario. So I'll look into that one, though, too, as well, if the odds are worth it. Jesus, what is up with these crazy comments today, man? You look better without the stash. It looks fresh, gives you glow to your face. I'm gonna shave the stash now because of you, because that wasn't a crazy. I appreciate that. I will absolutely shave the stash, mate. Don't worry about him, King. Another better guy will come along. I feel sorry for everyone backing Hart like yourself. Honestly, too, beyond just the money, beyond just the money, I feel bad for Jesse Hart. I feel like a fighter at 37, 38 years old, and Jaleel Hackett or Greg Hackett was coaching his fucking ass off in that corner, man. Coaching his ass off in that corner. Man, it really sucks. And I also did get my Cruz prediction wrong. I said I thought Cruz would win a 7-5 kind of fight. Close, I guess, prediction. Close predictions don't matter in this game. So I got that wrong. But I also did say in my video that I wasn't running to the window to bet Cruz by decision. I literally said, I'm not running to the window to bet Cruz by decision at even money. It's way too close of a fight. Murataya surprised me. Still had Cruz. I also had Cruz. Did Coe's odds live ever look juicy? I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'm not just saying this. I'll read my scorecards exactly this. I was so steady, and this is an issue that I have sometimes is I'm pretty good at live betting. I don't know what it was, is I was so steadfast on Jesse Hart that I didn't even look at the live lines for that fight. I was locked in. I stopped betting because Jesse Hart's live lines after round one went from plus 450 to plus 162. I had insider information from one of my buddies that knows someone that trains with her gym that Jesse Hart absolutely worked Ko in their sparring session. And I think we saw a semblance of that here. Ko completely stopped fighting rounds 9 and 10. And I really thought Jesse Hart was going to go through those veteran gears after round 7. This is exactly how I had it scored. I had it 1 through 3 for Hart with the 10-8. And then after the 10-8 round, I was like, man, I'm not even tripping on it. Then we had 4 through 7 for Ko with the 10-8 in round 6. And then I had Jesse Hart clearing rounds 8 through 10. So I really wasn't tripping whatsoever. I was pretty damn confident. The worst you could have given Jesse Hart was 6-4. And a lot of people had him 7-3. So did you see Gene Silva cry while holding the belt? Gene Silva is a special type of human, man. I love that guy because he's so authentic to himself. And you got to respect and love anyone that's authentic to themselves. Agreed, bro. They robbed Hart and they cheated. This is one thing I don't understand. How did they fucking reward the cheating? How did they reward the cheating? That is the biggest thing I want to know. How do you reward the guy that came in 7 pounds overweight? It's absolutely fucking asinine. He should have had a point deducted coming into the fight. Let's talk some MMA, Big Steve. Let's talk some MMA. I'm going to pull up the card. Like I said, I'd like Dan Hooker at the odds here, but I think he's going to be better live once he gets past BSD for the round 1. Fiziev over Rufi. I'm not overthinking that one. The better striker, good anti-grappler. I think he's fought in the way better competition. Rufi's overrated as hell. Appreciate you, bro. Keep up the good work. Hey, I appreciate you, Don Julio. Thank you very much for tuning in, brother. Agreed. Hart lost as well, and it's fine, but still a huge shame for his career. It's just like the guy's not going to get a huge opportunity like that, quite frankly. So my man, King of Fitness, I wouldn't say the GOAT. I would say probably like ranked like 6th or 7th in this YouTube boxing sphere. If I'm in that top 7, top 6 echelon, I'm a happy camper, bro. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. I see you doing that work too as well on the bag, sparring too as well, getting that double jab. My man, King of Fitness, posting his sparring clips, getting that double jab to the body, going low, high, ripping them up. Love it. Ilya or Islam? Islam would big dog Ilya. That's what would happen. He would just big dog him. Big Steve, what MMA do you want to talk here too as well? I know you said you want to talk some MMA. Let me pull up the card. I like Fiziev, and I'm actually very confident in Fiziev. You let me know if that's square or not. I actually like the money on it too as well. Excuse me, y'all. Dan Hooker at the odds, but I think it's going to be better live after round 1. Torres Finney should just wrestle fuck Jacob Malkoun for 2 rounds, and then Jacob Malkoun. And one thing is, Jacob Malkoun has some decent anti-grappling. He does have some decent anti-grappling. I'm super torn on Oban Elliott versus Metcalf. I feel like Oban Elliott, especially training at the Shore Gym, should have some decent enough anti-grappling and just be able to have good enough get-off game against Metcalf, who's like damn near just a grappler. Like, he has a little bit of kicks to his game, but I don't think Metcalf's all that. So I honestly don't even know what's going on in the regionals right now. I'm not as sharp as you in the regionals. Is there LFA this week? Let me go look. Because I oddly know quite a few LFA fighters. It's funny is when you gamble long enough and you gamble on Ramble, so there's no LFA this week. So I'm not like Octagon and KSW and stuff. I wouldn't know very much well. I would like to fade the public and go for Zai. Is the public on? Is the public on Rufi? I love that. I actually love that then in that case. I think Fiziev, and last time I looked, was almost around plus money. Right around even money too as well. So I really like that myself. Let's see here. Rufi was like, I don't even know if it plus money if I would have liked Rufi that much. I think Rufi's good with like flashy shit. He has like flashy shingle shot, but I don't think he puts together his offense that great. And one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't chain his offense to defense together well. Like as compared to someone like Rafael Fiziev, he will punish you in between those moments of you chaining your offense and your defense together. So Even though Fazayev has slowed down quite a bit, I don't think he looks as explosive or as athletic as he once was. I still like Fazayev, man. I like Fazayev just overall. I think Fazayev too as well. Though we have to take into consideration, though, naturally, that Hoofy is training at Volk's gym now. And I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. I don't know if necessarily it's a positive that you have. You know, a new gym's always something that you're questioning, right? But is he getting better training? He probably is. He probably got as good if he could. He was probably a big fish in a small pond at the Fighting Nerds to where he got as probably as good as he could under that coach. And it was time for him to move on. So also another thing to take into consideration. There's one more. Let me pull up my books. I don't know why I'm not utilizing the tools I have literally at hand. Let me pull up my books. Also, too, well, if you're listening into the chat right now, do I go and place a bet on Josh Hart and Russell Westbrook? Do I tail the mush parlay, triple double and double double? Shit. Little triple double, double double action. Maybe a little 8 and 8 work. Let's see what we have for boxing here. Oh, Pro Box. Completely forgot. Brian Flores versus Starling Castillo. Love that fight, man. You have Starling Castillo here as someone that fights a lot like Alberto Puello. Southpaw, sits on the back foot, skirts against the rope. Really slick uppercut. Not necessarily low volume, but super nice. Completely forgot about Starling Castillo versus Brian Flores. And Brian Flores is not the highest volume of Mexican, but he is still a high volume Mexican that has pop, and he has pop from bell to bell. I would like to see him punch the body more, but man, and everyone looks to Starling Castillo the way he outboxed Bunch and how Flores had a closer fight with Bunch. It's just different styles make fights. And I feel like Starling Castillo being on the back foot optically against such a big puncher and someone that will go forward. I actually had also too Flores beating Lindolfo Delgado. So I think he should be undefeated personally. Yeah, I kind of lean Brian Flores. I see a lot of people on Starling Castillo, and I'm hoping that people continue to bet Starling Castillo so I can get Flores at plus money. And I think Starling Castillo, especially if we get Pro Box odds live, I think that's one big Steve that I actually do like is Brian Flores this week, man. Since you're looking for some good boxing plays, tape it yourself. But I like Brian Flores. UFC over 3.5 Volk versus Lopez. I'm worried someone gets chinned in this fight. I have a feeling Volk gets chinned in this fight. I don't know what it is. I just think it's time him to get chinned against Lopez, and Lopez now has the rounds to download the data. Collar tie uppercut, catches Volk on the movement. Fazayev head kick KO after he got Roofy hurt with the body kicks. I can see something like that. Keys, I hope you're doing well, brother. Thoughts on Shakur money line and Skull 10.0? Kiza, what are our thoughts on Shakur money line around here? If you're still in the chat, you let us know what are our thoughts on Shakur money line around here, Doug. I'm hoping that they keep betting up to where we can get TO at like 3-1. That's really what I'm hoping. I'm not touching that fight at all. I'm completely staying away from that fight. I guess the safe bet would be Shakur. Really, there's value in TO depending on what TO we get. I'm just waiting until, quite frankly, weigh-ins and last minute because I know we're going to get public parlays and we're going to get money on Shakur to where it's going to push. And I know we're going to get TO at a good number. I just know we're going to get it higher than plus 230 at what it is now. So if I can get TO at anything at plus 280 and higher, I'm taking it. That's just a must take for me. I would love if I can get him 3-1. But besides that, I wouldn't play it personally. It's a watch and enjoy kind of fight, the sweet science kind of fight. And I'm hoping to have a solid bankroll by that point of the night. So, yeah. So, TO takeover. TO takeover. Oh, my allergies are kicking my ass right now, y'all. I apologize. But yeah, we've been live for about 30 minutes. If you're here, if you could hit the like button, I appreciate anyone that's commented. Please make sure you hit the like button. YG, what up, playa? Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you always supporting both on Twitter and YouTube. So let me tell you my thoughts on Ortiz versus Keyshawn. Why I think Keyshawn has way too many red flags. I think from a tangible perspective of them boxing, I know I went over it, but I'll just go over it again. From a tangible boxing perspective, I think it's like a 70-30 kind of fight. 65-35. Maybe I'm giving Ortiz too much credit there because it could be a 75-25. All that being said, it leans to Keyshawn. But the red flags The red flags, man. Let me just go over these red flags. Keyshawn changing teams. The whole fiasco with Edwin De Los Santos. Overlooking Ortiz and already talking about 147 pounds. Going on this crazy media tour where he's just on some braggadocio shit. Like, shouldn't you be in the gym a little bit more? And yeah, man, these are just all a bunch of big. And oh yeah, the biggest one, him moving up to 140 pounds, where we don't know how he looks at 140 pounds. And Ortiz does have the better resume, pound for pound. He wasn't spoon-fed Baranchik. So I think Ortiz definitely can have some value to it, to be completely honest with you. I don't know if it's a better live bet spot if you're willing to lose a few bucks if Ortiz goes up a few rounds. But for me, it's more of a live bet spot just because I know we'll get good value on Ortiz at least minimum for the first 4 rounds. Even if he's up 3-0, he'll still be a dog, which is going to be crazy. And that's it. Lots of action this weekend. Not great for betting. I agree. I think it's a big live bet spot weekend. I think if we use our eyes, use our tools, and trust our eyes this weekend, I think we get a lot of good live bet spots here. So big up, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you. Mr. Dermo. Keyshawn never boxed anyone who can move like Ortiz. That's the issue, though, is Ortiz is not very, like, he doesn't have enough volume, man. Like, Ortiz is just so, like, willing to move and not throw anything with his movement. That is the one thing, is if he had a little bit more volume, it'd be a little bit better. He is always on some braggadocio shit. That is him. Yeah, I mean, he is the businessman, but he wasn't very business-like in his last one. And I do question these things. Like, I do question how much someone loves the game. You know, I just question that. And again, when it comes from a boxing perspective, I 100% see why Keyshawn is a big favorite. But the intangible perspective, man, it just bothers me. And, you know, as all you guys know that have been gambling long enough, you 100% have enough. You know, you've seen it enough time where the intangibles matter, right? Adames seems like the lock of week, in my opinion. To me, it's just how he gets it done. That's what I need to take for, is how does he get it done? Does he stop Ammo late, or does Ammo have enough to take it late, to take it to the cards with him? Because Ammo, from what I remember, did not look good in his last fight. Let me go check it. I believe it was before I go and check it, I'm trying to remember the name. Fortney. Sorry, guys. When you guys know, when you watch so many fights, you be killing names and stuff like that. It was Volny. Okay, I forgot that he even fought Ivan Vasquez between that. Yeah, in the Patrice Volny fight, I didn't think he looked great in the Patrice Volny fight over 12 rounds. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, especially on the Patrice Volny, boring as hell too as well. That fight wasn't necessarily great, but I also didn't think he looked great. Thank you. See, Volny. I wanted to test myself before I looked it up, and I knew I got it wrong anyways. Do you think we see? I think David is taking possibly too big of a step up versus Zerto. He hasn't even established himself at 175 properly. I mean, at 175, he's probably cleared everyone there is to fight, because Bivol and Beterbiev are going to set up for their trilogy matchup. But yeah, man, like, yeah, he didn't look good. Could have lost it. It's funny because after I get off live here in about 7 minutes, I'm actually jumping straight into the Discord and I'm doing a live tape study. And I was actually planning on doing Ammo Williams versus Adames, and looking at Shushu Carrington versus Castro. I'm not high on Carrington. Adames going to stop him. I haven't done the tape on it. I'm not going to lie. I took 2 days off of tape completely after that bullshit with Jesse Hart. I was sick. That shit literally, man. It's the type of shit that makes you never want to bet on the sport a day in your life. It's literally the type of shit that makes you never want to bet on the sport. But then when you get live odds on Kona Walker at plus 670, and you get draws on Mobili and Lester at plus 1600, you're like, yeah, I can keep betting on the sport. So it's all good. And this weekend, I am positive, guys, there's going to be some crazy live bet spots. So keep your eyes open. It's going to be a good one, man. I'm very excited for the live bet spots. I'm going to try to drop some live bet spots on Twitter. As well as clearly in the Discord. Remember, all this stuff is for free, so holler at me. Yeah, if you're cordial and not an asshole, you're more than welcome to join the community. Again, it's free, and you know, that's it. 670 670. Oh no, don't worry. Don't envy you doing Tape Shushu's last fight. Hard enough to watch live. Bro, that was... And I think that's a big red flag. Him not getting that cab driver out of there, man. He should have lost the Sagawa fight. Shushu was gifted, in my opinion, at least a Sagawa dub, because he should have minimum got a draw. Sagawa should have minimum got a draw in that fight here. I actually had Sagawa winning that fight here versus Shushu. someone made a really good point. My boy Ramsey, shout out Ramsey, is that Castro is going to be the biggest step up in competition that Shushu has had since Sagawa. My boy Keys is in the chat too as well, and he messaged me this. Keys, I'm gonna read your message real quick. Again, I'm sorry about my sinuses, y'all. Old boy said, Shushu nasty inside. He doesn't think Castro is going to give him that kind of fight, and he struggles with fighters from range, which, I mean, we saw the Sagawa fight. Sagawa can extend his punches and use his range really well, and he struggled in that fight. So I stand on it. I stand on it. Nick Ball beat Shushu. I don't think Shushu beats any of the champions at 126 right now. I'm sorry. Maybe Angelo Leo. I don't even think he beats Angelo Leo. I think Nick Ball beat Shushu. I think Angelo Leo beat Shushu. I think Hoffa beat Shushu. I think Mirko Coelho and Waiting beat Shushu. I'm not sold on Shushu. 28-year-old prospect that should have been done it. I need to see it, man. And people call me crazy for that, and I'm okay with it. I'm going to stand on it until we see some unifications. So let's see some unifications at the division. Who do you think winning, Strickland or Hernandez? It's a tough fight for Hernandez, but I just think Hernandez undeniably, no matter who you are, just has a way of gassing you out, putting so much pressure on you. When he takes your back, he flattens you hips to hip. When he gets top mount, he just puts so much smothering pressure. And Sean Strickland has good anti-wrestling and good cardio himself, but he has good cardio versus guys with shitty cardio. So I think Hernandez wins, but I'm curious to see what the odds look like on that fight. I haven't even looked. When is that fight, man? It's in February, right? Anthony Hernandez, Topology. Let's see. Yeah, February 21st. February 21st. I know you have Strickland, Kiza. Stand up. I think it's pretty binary. I really think it's as binary as it gets. Is Strickland keeps it standing, he beats Hernandez, and if Hernandez gets him down and drowns him, he wins. It's for real. See, man, I'm glad you agree, man. You're one of the few that actually agree. I seem to get a lot of pushback from that take. And I understand people are high on Shushu. Oh, am I still live, y'all? Is my Wi-Fi still on? I don't know if my computer's just going. All right, we're good. Damn, gotta go hit the breaker or something. I got Strickland, Big Steve, Big Steve's actually, go check out Big Steve's MMA channel, Big Brain Podcast. He's actually a professional bettor. That's what he does for his living. He likes Strickland all the way, and he specializes in MMA. So yeah, I guess I'm stupid. All the MMA sharps here think I'm dumb, which is fine. But I don't think my take is that crazy, guys. I don't think my take is that crazy. Parlay. What are like, King, that's not really my style. You have Xander Barao over 10.5. What's that, like a minus 200? Shakur Teo, which I know is like a minus 300. And distance Castro Shushu, which may be like even money. 3 legs for like what? What are the odds on that, King? I'd rather take my shot on Kingsley Iba to beat Juice Miller at better odds than all 3 of those. Quite frankly, I'd rather just do that. I'd rather just find a dog that I like live and do that instead of, but my style is different. I don't like parlays like that. I'm doing one long parlay this week, but it's not going to be long in terms of like a bunch of minus money lines. There'll be like a bunch of good plus money odds. That's going to be like a lotto or a long shot, as people would call it. So PJ, I'll send you the Discord info too, PJ. I forgot to read your comment earlier. Xander Barao, tough to get a read on. What you think? So let's talk about that. I think Xander is really good at lining up his shots, and he throws his shots when he lines them up. But I don't think Xander has huge thudding. I don't think Xander may have the biggest thudding pop. He's 23 and he's growing into his body, and he looks shredded, and his back looks bigger than it ever has. Pause. So that means that is growing into his punching power. So when you mix into that against a Baez Barao who's going to walk in the front door, no ski mask on, and he's going to punch his way, but he's going to put out way more volume. And I think he's So you had Xander, who fought a volume puncher, and Chino Garcia last time, but I don't think Chino Garcia is that skilled. I like Chino Garcia. I'm a fan of him, but I think he's a bit overrated. Barao is going to put out the similar amount of volume, but he has a far better punch variety, and he's way more sturdy. He has a lot of heart, and he's willing to go to dark places. Has a lot of 12-round experience. These are things that I think people are underrating by Barao. So 2 plays that I've been discussing all week. That's cap. I've been discussing them since this morning. 2 plays I've been discussing since this morning is I like Xander knockout plus 750 by the value, purely based off the value. Because if they fought 100 times, I think Xander could stop him more than 12 times if you're looking at just purely based off what the probability is. But I really think Abeas Barao is a live dog, a very live dog. And that can sound contradictory, but I think the value plays both way here. I think ultimately Xander Zayas probably gets it done by decision. But Abeas Barao, man, great punch variety, great volume, knows how to put an opponent's back against the doors. I'm just curious if he's going to be more physical with Xander, because Xander looks fucking huge right now, and he's 100% ready to move up. I think Xander at most has this fight and maybe one more left at 154. I don't think he has much more fights at 154, quite frankly. Here, he'll be up at 160 very shortly. Maybe one more fight. Maybe we see a unification fight, but that's about it. Wait, this is a unification fight. I should say one more unification. My apologies. You think anyone stand a chance against Islam at welterweight? That's a good question, actually. That's a good question here. Let's go look at the welterweight UFC rankings. Yep, Mr. Dermo agrees. Xander looks ready to move up to 160. You feel me? Like, he's ready to move up to 160, bro. Dude is freaking jacked to the gills. Let's look at the welterweight rankings. I mean, this could be, I think Michael Morales is a dark horse. This could be super, I mean, Ian Machado Gary is just trying to get too fancy with it, but he's so athletic and he's learning on the fly, fight over fight. His anti-wrestling is pretty good. I think Ian Machado Gary has a chance. I mean, if Kamaru Usman was 2 years younger, Kamaru Usman 2 years ago would have been a good fight. We have to see Shavkat, but Shavkat's not like is a great wrestler. He's that like Eastern Caucasus bouncing style, like he's fighting on 2 trampolines kind of striker that has good clinch game. But he can grapple a little bit, but he's not necessarily great. What's the word I'm looking for? Pure wrestlers, right? So I think Shavkat, Ian, and Michael Morales all have a shot against Islam. Those are like the 3 guys I would give like the best shot against. Michael Morales actually being the highest of all. Xander Gaius never goes for a stoppage. He fights safe. And that's an issue. That's the thing is Abeas Barao Xander Zayas lines up shots really well. That's one thing is he lines up shots really well. And the thing is that with him lining up shots, Abeas Barao will give him the chance to fire off on those shots. And I think that is kind of important to note. So, yeah. Morales never fought any good strikers. I don't think Islam's necessarily a great striker, though. Islam's clearly, a grappling-based fighter. You think Rohan Polanco's stoppage this weekend? Haven't taped his opponent at all, but I know just looking wiki capping, his opponent had 2 losses by knockout. But they're probably setting him up. Dude had a lot of losses. He got knocked out too by I think it was Isaiah Lucero. I didn't watch the knockout, so I don't know if it was a real one or one of those box rec ones. But Rohan Polanco, they're probably setting him up for this knockout for sure. 79. We got the exact same. We had the exact same prediction, 7 through 12 stoppage here. Really quickly, 79. Since I have you here, just because I want to proof it out for you, because I know you said that I appreciate you anecdoting my J-Rod one too as well. But I just want to show you on the Discord. Just so you don't think I was capping the Julian pick. Go back to it. I'm taking way too long for this shit. My bad, guys. I got to get to my tape study anyways. Yeah, we got J-Rod there at plus 260. We got J-Rod here Rodriguez. I guess I should just spell his full name. Just because I like to have the proof for anything that's anecdoted. That's important, as you know, for me. You know, always transparent. Bang, there it is. That's the one right there. Everybody, they dropped the line here at plus 290, plus 260. Told everybody line would be even by fight night. That's in the Discord. Dated 1/19/26, 3:33 p.m. here, just so you have the proof for your anecdote. I could screenshot this, send this to you. You can also, too, as well, always jump in the Discord, too, as well. Everything I do is free, guys. Patreon is just for the audio drops. Haven't been dropping as many breakdowns and stuff. YouTube's been fucking brutal to me lately, man. Haven't been getting likes or views. So if you guys could go drop a like, a view, anything works for me. I appreciate any support. Great points about Keyshawn. Add another red flaggers. When fighters drop merch, they get cooked. That is hilarious. I've never thought about this. Cool Boy Plant. DSG followed this trend. Spench. Holy shit. I've never thought about that. The merch trend, the merch curse. YG. You got to post that on Twitter that you put the merch curse, bro. That is your thing. I've never been told that. Johnny been taking Kelly to beat Murtazayev. Seems sure of it. I like Kelly, but don't think he has quite enough to get it done. My thoughts on it. Kelly, he thinks Kelly can outbox him. I just think it comes down to a hardware issue. I think Kelly is a beast. Morale came out and said that he's mentally weak. They trained at the same gym for years together. I think if you go look at the David Avanesian fight, he gets broken down. I think he gets broken down here. At least Islam knows how to manage distance, unlike Morales victims. I agree. Sean Brady runs into punches straight up. You think Skull going to lose? No, I do think Skull's going to lose. I like Jacob Bank. Triple B, what up, GK? Hope you're doing well, brother. Did you tape Skull fight yet? I didn't tape it heavy. I remember the Jacob Bank last fight, and you couldn't pay me to tape another William Skull fight. Couldn't pay me. I'm taking Jacob Bank on the optics, being hometown in Denmark, bigger puncher. William Skull's hard to look good against, though. But I think William Skull's being flown out to lose in Denmark in this case. Denmark is itching for a boxing star, and I don't think when you have these small market countries, they are itching. They have to make it very clear. And William Skull's style is very back foot style, and doesn't look good on the judges, especially in a hometown. Hitchens stopping Duarte, breaking it down easy. I like Hitchens in that fight here, but I don't like the line. Kelly might put on the stool. I think Bachram's going to break him down to the body. Yeah, Homa Boxing's great, man. He's jumped onto the scene and he's blowing up, man. He already has like 23K subscribers or something crazy. He drops tape after tape after tape. Yeah, he's solid here. Chino Rodriguez. Killing the school. Me and Johnny got issues. So I'm bladed when I say this, but bro told you guys to go bet on Austin Diana, and that was a clear mismatch. I'm gonna stay out of all personal beefs personally. But this is too as well. This is just a good lesson for anybody: is always do your own research and never tail another man's bets, unless you have your own research to back it. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of all personal beefs here, man. I don't like the beef within the boxing community lately. Quite frankly here, I wish we all could when I first started on this YouTube journey, which wasn't that long ago, it was in July, which is hilarious. Started off with a Xander Zayas prediction. Fun fact, first ever prediction I ever dropped was Xander Zayas, Chino Garcia, y'all. So in my personal opinion, I kind of miss when the boxing community just have a bunch of just like people coming together. And I understand everyone has our personal beef. That's not me trying to be a preacher or anything like that. I just miss the togetherness is all it is. I'm actually having Chill Town on a live on Thursday. So if you guys are here, tune in to live on Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time to have Chill Town on. Yeah, I honestly want to get live with like every boxing creator, bro. I want to get live with Gary. I want to get live with Chilltown. I want to get on ESPN. I want to get on Eat, Sleep, Box, and Repeat. Have me on Eat, Sleep, Box, and Repeat. Come on, y'all. Let your boy Breaking Bad nonce it on. Come on, Canelo Skull was fight of the year. Hilarious. Mexican boxing #1. One of my favorite styles to watch. Absolutely some of my favorite styles to watch. 100%. I don't want to beef with him, but he said I spread misinformation and goes at me and other guys for nothing. Again, I mean, Johnny's my guy, quite frankly here, I just want everyone to be my guy. I mean, I'm truly just, But either way, bro, I just want to say, by the way, everyone, go check out Boxton Bet 79 for my boy 79. What he's doing, he's actually doing a boxing YouTube. It's a great time to actually market this for you. Please drop a comment with your actual YouTube, please, brother. Let me see if I actually can just go to YouTube. So Boxton 79, actually, what he is doing right now is pretty awesome. He is keeping all YouTube track records. He's keeping all YouTube track records. I am going to share it in the comment section. Let me know if you guys can click that link. If the link is clickable, I don't know if it is because from my end it's not clickable, but it's YouTube Boxton 79. It's Boxton Bet 79, I believe. What it is he's keeping a track of all YouTube, boxing YouTubers and just keeping us essentially accountable, which I will say this is someone that, I did the Patreon thing for like 6 weeks and I realized that it killed the love of the game I had for taping. It made me have to be forced to tape instead of wanting to tape. So instantly I cut that shit off and I do this for free, which takes all pressure away from me. Someone doesn't like, if I give out shitty plays, I apologize. But the one thing is when you drop a 18-minute video and someone only puts your worth out for 30 seconds, that's crazy. It's like, bro, what about the whole 16-minute analyst I gave before that? Breakdown, tape by tape breakdown. Like, I'm proud of my breakdowns, champ. Always will be. Chill Town Breaking Bad Boxing. I'm excited for that one, man. Chill is someone that I think is everyone respects in the game. I don't think you'll find many people, if anyone, that doesn't respect Chill Town in this boxing game. I agree with that with 7 through 12 play on Bach. We know Kelly will run early, but we don't know he will still hold up under the pressure. Still taking Kelly money line, though. I could understand why people are taking Kelly's money line. Great boxer early. Gives you a cash out option, possibly, especially depending on the book that you bet on. Kelly may have the best boxing performance of his night and win 9-3 rounds, win 8-4 rounds, clearly. I just think eventually, I'm going to get off the live here soon, y'all. I'm dying right now. I just think eventually he's going to get found out, tracked down, and beat up to the body is what I think actually will. Make sure you guys go get Boxton Bet 79 on YouTube a little bit of love because he is tracking and predicting. So gives you guys good other boxing predictors to check out. Boxing predictors that I like listening to. I love listening to Axel 79. That's my dog. I love listening to Homa Boxing is really good. I love Keith Moore Boxing. These are guys just I haven't already discussed and or mentioned. Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat's pretty cool. You can definitely feel a little bit of across the pond bias from them boys. That's why I want to get on with them so we can have a nice little debate. I love their channel. So those are just guys that I like checking out too as well. If you guys ever want to go check them out. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate the live stream. I appreciate you guys rocking with me for 52 minutes. If you guys can like the video, go check out my Bachram Kelly breakdown. I will try to drop one more breakdown by the end of the by Friday. With that being said, guys, appreciate y'all. It's love, it's peace, it's chicken grease. Until next time, later, y'all.